Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. And this video now we'll be explaining how we actually catch the silver move trade, how we actually catch the move on a silver, okay? This particular trade on silver. So let me just clear all these things. Let me clear all these things and tell you guys how we actually catch that trade. So now, looking at the weekly time frame, what are you actually seeing on the weekly time frame? The weekly time frame is actually bearish. Go to a line chart. The weekly time frame is actually bearish. It has already taken out two lows, okay? So we are having a trend move like this. We have a low, we have a high, we have a low, we have a lower high, and we have a lower low. So what am I actually anticipating? I'm anticipating market to come inside this premium and this time level, then move down, okay? Then move down. So that is what I normally do. I take the higher time frame market structure, and after having my view on the higher time frame market structure, what do I do next? I'll now go to the lower time frame, okay? So currently, trade is around this zone, and I actually know that all what we trade is just liquidity areas, okay? We target an internal range liquidity to an external range liquidity, that is it. Switching to this particular zone, how this place has already based rally, and it has already been fed. Look at it, it has already been fed, breaking breakout, and I actually have this, okay? So what am I going to do? This actually my liquidity taking out. So where am I actually anticipating that this market is actually coming to? Okay, remember this is actually our lower high and our lower low. So we are going to mark out our premium and discount areas. You see, we are going to mark out our premium and discount area. So marking out our premium and discount area, what are you actually seeing? We have a structural liquidity into the point we are actually looking after. This is actually our structural liquidity. So listen to my videos, I always talk about it. So having this zone, I'm going to be looking for my entry. I'm going to be looking for my entry, okay? So that is actually a process, but we actually got the buy into this level and the sell, though I will not be doing the sell video yet, okay? It's when the sell actually hits another TP, I'll be doing the overall video. So now for the purpose of this video now, what are you actually seeing? Why do we actually take that buy? Why do we actually take that buy? If you are looking at this particular candlestick, what are you seeing on this candlestick? We are having what? A higher high, a higher low, and higher high, and higher low, and high. That is why I like the weekly time frame, monthly time frame, daily time frame. Okay, so having this particular buyers, what I normally do, you know, this market structure, one thing about them, they will not just keep moving like this higher high, higher low. Okay, on Facebook, this is how you see them, but on live market, you'll be seeing something like this. You'll be seeing something like this. Yeah, you'll be seeing something like this. You see, that's just it. That's how they move on the live market. So now coming to this particular point now, the moment I have this as my structural liquidity to what? My entry. So automatically I use this point as my liquidity. Okay? This is actually my internal liquidity, and where is my external liquidity? I'll be using this zone. So in this case now we are also expecting a sell. So this is where I normally use my Fibonacci to know my external liquidity. So now I'm going to be using my fifth extension to mark from the beginning of this move. To mark from the beginning of this move to this particular point, okay? Before the pull back. So getting to this point, I like using because that's why I said TP varies. That's why even with YouTube videos you need to go for some training, because if you do not, you will not actually understand how to take TP, how to take SF, how to set SF. Okay? So at this particular point, I know this is going to be my TP, okay? So this liquidity has been taken out. I'm expecting market to come into this zone, okay? It varies. At times you'll be seeing me using this level, you'll be seeing me using this level. So that's why I said it depends, and that is why you need to learn. So having this now, I now have my week. On the other video, I actually show you guys on week entry and the rest of the stuff. So some traders don't trade week. It depends on their strategy, okay? So I know, yeah, market is actually coming into this zone. Market is actually moving inside this zone, okay? If you take the Telegram channel, where is it? The review I actually drop on silver. The review I actually drop on silver. Let me just type it. Okay, let me type. Silver. Okay, this is actually the full TP, but that is not what we are talking about currently. Not what we are talking about. Let's just check. Caesar. Okay, look at it here. Okay, look at it here. So I'm actually anticipating market to move inside this zone. Market to move inside this zone, then CP above. So now what next? Let's go back to our chart. So having this, this is actually that area, my point of interest. And now switch to my 4-hour time frame. So switching to my 4-hour time frame, what am I actually seeing? Okay, what am I actually saying? I have a liquidity at this particular point. Okay, so this point is actually my strong low. This is actually my strong low. Here. And this actually my BS. Okay, and this actually my BS. So having this, you are just having something like this. Your market gives you this. Okay, take at this particular point. Then, so in this particular scenario now, you have a liquidity for inducement. If this point is seen as our liquidity, this point is seen as our inducement. Okay, so that's why I normally say this structure are in so many ways. That is one of the reasons you just need to go and study. This structure is in so many ways. It can either appears like this or appears in different ways. So in any way they are actually appearing, in this particular scenario, I'll be having this as my speed and my BS, meaning this is actually a strong low. So because this is actually a strong low, if I do not have an inducement to entry, automatically my entry comes to an inducement. So what will happen? Market will do something like this. Take at this point, okay, then move. So that's why I said it's in so many ways. It's actually in so many ways. It either appears like this or you have something like this, okay, So in this case now, what am I actually saying here? We have this point as this is. There is no inducement to entry, so automatically this low turns to my inducement. I'm looking for entry around this zone. But to cut all the full short, looking for my snapper entry, look at this base at this particular point. So what did I do? I switch, and I'm also looking for more confirmation because my entry, I normally use confluence. For my entry. I don't just use one thing for my entry. I look into so many things. So you see, to this point I actually picked. I actually have three good reasons to take that trade at this particular point. So yeah, you see, and now shift it to this my VI level. See, this my VI level. That is where I actually took that trade from. As simple as that. Move for and now set my limit. So how did I actually know my FL? FL is cool using this low. But one thing you need to know about FIFA is very, very volatile and the spread is very big. So what did I do? I just mark out my feed. I like using feed. Okay. So I know it will not come to this particular point. It will not get to the 50%. And I use I think 800. Yeah. 500. That was how then as I said earlier, my CP1 is always very important. Like my CP1 is very, very important. I don't break with my CP1. Okay. So in this particular scenario now, where is going to be my CP1? The first liquidity area. Okay. In case market wants to reverse, the first liquidity area. In case market wants to reverse. Look at it now, because we are having a structure like this, break of market structure, we are having something like this. Have you seen it now? Okay, so that point comes to our first liquidity area. That's where I'm going to be using as my CP1. Because if this market is going to reverse, just like something I said about structure, if this market is going to reverse, it's going to do something like this. If this market is going to reverse, let's check. If you pick something like this, then reverse. Okay, so that is why some people will be like, this strategy is not working, It's because of your greediness. Because you want to be a position trader, you want to be a swing trader, you want to be an intraday trader, you are not keeping CP where you are supposed to keep it. Okay, so CP1 is very, very important because my father did not own the market. So you just need to know that anything can actually happen. So in this particular case, I now set my CP at this particular level. So you have to have as my CP1. Let's take this off. Just have my CP1. So what am I going to do next? I'm going to target this point. Look at it here. I'm going to target this point here. Are we seeing it now? So that is how I got that silver trade, as simple as that. Look at it. That is how I have that trade of silver. Okay. So we actually got it on the VIP. We actually got it on the VIP channel. We got it there. If you are looking at silver, look at this is actually when it peaks. This is when it peaks. You see? This is when it peaks. And I was actually waiting for my CP1 to peak. It actually gets to my CP1. It actually gets to my CP1, yeah. Look at it. 2,821 pips. So after my CP1, I'm actually waiting for market to come and hit that 1.85. Okay, so I'm just giving a result on how it's moving, how it's moving, how it's moving. You see, boom, TP, 2 TP. Are we seeing it now? So that's just it. So subscribe to the channel, like, share, and comment. Okay, I'll be dropping another breakdown on the another page. Okay, so have a nice day, guys.